Welcome back to episode 13 of the Umbrella Girls. And once again, we appreciate you listening every single week. And don't forget to hit that follow button. And if you have any comments or you need to contact us, you can always do so at markpatricklists@gmail.com. And you can find us, as usual, on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and we're also on www.theumbellagirls.ie. And don't forget to tell your friends that we're here every week with this great new adventure of the Umbrella Girls and the Tree People. So let's get moving on, and we'll get into chapter 13 now. Read and written by Mark Patrick. "Stop!" Anna shouted at the top of her lungs, and then looked around to make sure that she did not let anything hear her that shouldn't have heard her. All the girls suddenly turned to look at Anna to see had she seen the ground moving. But no, that was not why she shouted to all her friends to stop. "Has anyone asked, are we going the right way? Is this the right direction?" she asked her friends and the old man. "This is the way," the old man said as he pointed to the hills in the distance. "That's where the Queen said we will find the journal," he added. "And that is another question we haven't asked," Anna said as she put her hands on her hips. "Why does she want this journal? Why did she not just take our journal? What's so special about this third journal?" she asked her friends. "Anna's right," Jojo said. "I am?" Anna said, surprised that her friends were even listening to her. "I am right," she added. "Do you understand why she asked us to find this other journal?" Jojo asked the old man. "And how do we find it?" Sam asked. "I assume there will not be just a big sign saying third journal this way." The old man just looked at the girls and shook his head. "I have no idea why she wants it, but it must be important if Her Royal Highness says that is a condition of you getting home. So, do we just find this journal and hope it gets us home?" Anna questioned everyone. "We've no real option, Anna. This is the only plan we have at the moment. Unless anyone else has any other ideas," Kay asked her friends and the old man. No one answered, and that meant they were all in agreement. Then Sam had an idea. "Jojo, look at your journal and see has any more pictures appeared in it." "Great idea, Sam," Jojo said as she took her journal out of her backpack and opened the new pages. And as she did, she gasped. There was a new picture which clearly showed the Umbrella Girls and the old man standing between hundreds and hundreds of moving trees. And as she looked at the drawing and showed the girls a journal, it kept drawing new trees every few seconds. The drawing kept changing. Jojo looked up and realised the journal was keeping track of where the trees were at every moment. "Whoa, it keeps changing," Sam said, astonished. "That is because the trees keep moving, Sam," Jojo explained. "What is that?" Kay asked, pointing to what seemed like a large round circle past the hills. The girls all looked at the old man for answers. "I've no idea, girls. I've never travelled that far. I don't know what is over that hill or what lies ahead of us. All I know is what I've heard. I've been told by other people who have ventured this far to be extremely careful of unknown creatures," he explained. "I do not like the sound of unknown creatures," Anna said in a low voice as she looked all around, expecting something to just jump out at her. "Okay, we need to go now. Time is not on our side," the old man explained, looking up at the sky. "Okay, then let's go then," Jojo said to her friends. as she started to head in the direction of the hills. Well, we need to keep checking the journal, Jojo, to see has any new drawings appeared. Because if we keep checking, we may see these creatures before they see us. That's a great idea, Sam. Okay, and all remember, as soon as you feel movement in the ground, you have to run like mad. Do you all understand that? The old man said, looking at all the girls. You run like mad, he repeated to make sure they heard him the first time. As the girls began to move, some of the trees kept getting in the way, as if they were trying to block them. This will take forever if these trees keep moving, and we have to keep trying to go around them, Kay said, as she was blocked once again by another tree. Just use your umbrella to tip off the tree, and as you tip off it, the tree will move away from you, the old man explained, as he touched his own stick to the nearest tree. So Anna, Jojo, Sam and Kay held onto their umbrellas and slowly tipped each tree with the pointy end of the umbrella. And it worked. The trees moved, and it meant they could move faster. Wow, this is cool, Sam said as she touched another tree, and it quickly moved in another direction. The girls were sort of having fun, touching the trees with their umbrellas and seeing the trees fly back out of their way. Maybe they were having too much fun because none of them felt the ground slightly move, and you could have mistaken the movement for the vibration of the trees moving. But the old man felt it. He suddenly stopped and made sure he was right. Why are you stopped? Jojo asked him. But he just put his finger on his lips to keep her quiet. The other girls just stood there looking at each other with the same look. What is he up to? But then Sam felt it. Was that the ground moving? She asked, looking all around at the ground. But the old man still did not answer. He was trying to make sure that what he was feeling was the ground. He just kept looking at the ground as if he'd lost something small and was having a hard time trying to find it. Then he stood up straight and looked ahead, and then he looked back at the girls. Run, he shouted, and then even louder he shouted again, run, run. And with that, he took off in the directions of the hills. The four girls did not need to be told twice. They all started to run as fast as they could, with Jojo and Sam catching up and passing out the old man. Not one tree got in the way as they ran. It was as if the trees knew blocking him was a bad idea. Kay looked back for a second and thought she saw the ground behind her get higher. But then she thought her mind was playing tricks till she looked back a second time and realised the ground was getting higher and higher behind her. It was as if the ground was a tide in the sea and coming towards her. But this tide was pure ground, and it was moaning like a wild tiger. Bloody hell, is all Anna heard as Kay ran past her. Then Anna looked back and realised what had made Kay, who was usually the slowest runner of her friends, the fastest. Very quickly, the old man had been overtaken by all the girls, and he was running out of speed and running out of energy. But he knew he had to keep going because he had heard the rumours of what would happen if he stopped. Then all of a sudden, the noise stopped, and as the old man looked behind him, he could see that the ground was now flat. He stopped running and bent over and put his hands onto his knees to try and get some air into his lungs. Kay looked back and saw that the old man had stopped running and called out for our friends to stop. Has it stopped? Sam shouted back at the old man, where all the old man could do was say yes by shaking his head. Maybe we should keep running just to be on the safe side, Anna said, ready to take off again at a minute's notice. He cannot run anymore, Jojo said to her friends as she looked with pity at the old man. After a few moments, the old man walked very slowly to join the girls. What the hell was that? Jojo asked him. I only know what I've heard from others. And what they say is never let the ground catch you, the old man explained, still well out of breath. Why not? Asked Sam. They never told me why. They just said, don't let the ground catch you. I assumed it was a bad thing, he explained. A bad thing? You don't say. What gave that away? The whole earth trying to eat us? Anna said, annoyed, and was about to ask should we be on the lookout for anything else when she just disappeared. She just disappeared into the ground. Her other friends just stood there in complete shock. Where's she gone? Jojo asked, panicking, walking all over the area to see how did she just disappear. She just went into the ground, Sam screamed, looking at the spot Anna was just standing in. Nobody move. Stand exactly where you are, the old man shouted at the girls. But Jojo was still walking around wildly trying to figure out where was Anna? Where's she gone? I said stand still, the old man shouted at her loudly. Stop moving now, he demanded. His voice was a mixture of trying to take control and pure panic. Jojo, please do as he says, Sam pleaded as she was looking very worried as she looked all around where she was standing. What's happening? Where's Anna? Kay asked, shouting at the old man. I don't know, he said as he tried to figure out what to do. Then he saw Sam starting to move towards him. We need to find her, Sam began as the old man shouted at her. Stand still, he said. But as he did so, he watched in horror as Sam just disappeared into the ground. It was as if she was swallowed whole by a whale. 1 minute she was there, and the next she was gone. Jojo and Kay screamed in shock. They were both looking around urgently, trying to figure out what was happening, but also very fearful that they would be next. Sam! Sam! Kay called out, but no answer came back. The old man was really panicking now. He kept turning around in circles where he stood, trying to figure out what had just happened and really worried about the two missing girls. Sam! Anna! Can you hear us? Kay shouted at the ground. Where are they? She asked as she shouted again. Sam! Anna! Please answer me! Nothing. Not a sound came back. Where are they? She asked again. I don't know, the old man said, annoyed that has been asked questions that he had no answers for, and he was annoyed that he just lost two people he was supposed to be looking after. How do we find them? Jojo asked, looking at the ground. And then she felt a slight tremor, and she was gone. Jojo! Oh my God, Jojo! Where's she gone? Kay screamed. Jojo! Jojo, where are you? She screamed again, and just before she could scream once again, she felt a slight movement under her foot. She looked at the ground and then looked straight at the old man with very wide eyes that screamed fear. And she was gone. The old man just stood there in shock and waited. He was waiting for the ground to take him as well. But he waited, and he waited, and nothing happened. And then he panicked more as he realized that the girls were gone, and they were on their own. They were on their own in a world where most things wanted to send you to nothingness. The head watcher had seen the whole thing from his hiding place, and he too was starting to panic. He could not go back and tell Her Royal Highness that the girls were gone, and he could not go back without the third journal. His panic got worse as he saw the old man collapse on the ground. He put his hand over his mouth to stop himself from screaming. Thank you for tuning in this week for chapter 13 of The Umbrella Girls and the Three People. And I hope you tune in next week to find out, where are the girls gone? Are they gone to nothingness? And don't forget to hit the follow button, and you can find us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and also on Podbean and our own website, www.theumbrellagirls.ie. Thank you once again. Have a great week.